After a record 16 years of steady leadership,
so wahr mir Gott helfe.
Germany is entering a new era.
Ich kann mich gar nicht mehr daran erinnern, als noch jemand anderes Bundeskanzler war. Deswegen ist für mich so die Angie eigentlich so schon immer da gewesen. Und deswegen ist es komisch, jetzt jemand Neues zu wählen.
Europe's largest economy will be expecting a lot from Angela Merkel's successor. So, what's on the to-do list?
Climate change has played a bigger role in Germany's election than it might have done in other years or in other developed countries. That, in part, is because of the huge destruction caused by flooding a couple of months ago.
Alles wird rausgerissen, weil das all nass ist und nach Öl stinkt. Wie blutet das Herz?
They killed nearly 200 people and left many missing.
Den Klimawandel zu bremsen.
But it's not just about floods. A citizens' assembly of 160 people was commissioned to advise on what climate ambitions Germany should incorporate into its public policy.
Was mich besonders beeindruckte war,
the Assembly backed plans for a coal phase-out by 2030, a ban on internal combustion car engines by the same year, and compulsory installation of solar panels on new buildings. Most Germans believe the country and the EU are simply not doing enough on climate protection. But implementing those new climate policies will have a big impact. For instance, Germany still leans heavily on coal to power its world-famous factories.
Wir wollen heute den Kohleausstieg selbst in die Hand nehmen. Wir haben ein desaströses Jahr in der Klimapolitik erlebt. Wir haben gesehen, wie die Bundesregierung versagt. Das Klimapaket ist eine einzige Farce und deswegen machen wir das heute selbst.
This won't be easy for the new Chancellor.
Germany has played a key leadership role in the EU, so maintaining and shaping that sense of European unity will be crucial for the next Chancellor.
But Germans are beginning to have doubts. The EU's vaccination programme was slow to get going, and one recent study found that a striking 55% of Germans believe the EU's political system is broken. That figure's up by a quarter from just 12 months before. There have been tensions between the northern and southern European countries about who should be paying for Europe's post-pandemic reconstruction. The new Chancellor will need to help calm those strained tempers. And at home, a familiar challenge. Immigration remains a big issue for some voters.
Als Ausländer sagt ja zweite Mama.
Merkel allowed in many migrants. The new Chancellor will have their own views. Since 2015, China has become Germany's largest trading partner. Goods worth nearly 213 billion euros were traded between the two countries in 2020. But the US's increasingly hostile attitude towards China has put pressure on Germany's close relationship. So far, it's refused to cease its booming trade. And under Merkel, it opted for the concept of Wandel durch Handel, or change through trade.
Wir kennen China als verantwortungsbewussten Akteur auf der Weltbühne, mit dem wir auf vielen Gebieten gut zusammenarbeiten. Die Bundeskanzlerin hat sich in dieser Hinsicht also deutlich für eine friedliche, gewaltfreie, auf Dialog basierende Lösung.
As other countries criticise the detention of Uyghur Muslims and the imposition of draconian security laws in Hong Kong, Berlin remained largely silent. But that approach is becoming much harder to defend. A poll in August found that 58% of respondents wanted the government to take a harder line against Beijing to defend its own interests. Germany struck a deal with Russia to allow the construction of a pipeline directly between the two countries to increase supplies of natural gas to Europe.
But Nord Stream 2 is highly controversial. America, for instance, thinks the pipeline will make Europe ever more dependent on Russia for its supply of energy.
Ukraine and Poland also upset. It means them losing out on lucrative transit fees for the gas that currently flows through their countries. Construction of the $11 billion pipeline has already been finished. America has grudgingly agreed not to sanction the German company involved.
Thank you all.
It struck a deal with Germany to instead sanction Russia if it uses the energy as a means to gain geopolitical leverage. So as one of the world's leading economies, the international community is watching Germany's election closely.
16 years of leadership by Angela Merkel has been stable and enduringly popular, but the direction of this country has been defined by her individual decisions rather than any coherent political philosophy. The new Chancellor will have to come up with their own vision of Germany's place in the world.